Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we won't do much of the chanting because I saw you already doing the chanting. So I am going to speak to you today from chapter 3, text 27, which is an often quoted shloka by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We will study the shloka. The chapter is called Karma Yoga. And text 27, chapter 3, text 27. If you've got your Bhagavad Gita with you, it will be worthwhile opening it up and checking that. I will chant that once or twice and then I'll go ahead with the translation and purport. Or if you feel you have the time, I can have you also chant. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Please repeat after me. Prakrite kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvashah Ahankara vimudhatma aham iti manyate. Prakrite kriyamanani karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Purport: two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level, may appear to be working on the same platform, but there is a wide gulf of a difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently. That is a symptom of his nescience. He does not know that this gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, his bodily and mental activity. And as such, his bodily and mental activity should be engaged in the service of Krishna and Krishna consciousness. The ignorant man forgets that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Rishikesha, or the master of the senses of the material body, but due to his long misuse of the senses and sense gratification, is factually bewildered by the false ego, which makes him forget his eternal relationship with Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum-militam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha. Right. This is a very wonderful, famously quoted shloka. Krishna is explaining here. Arjuna has refused to, or rather is considering refusing to fight this war. And therefore, he is given reasons which he thinks are important. And he has finally also said that actually, I don't know what is right, what is wrong, and I'm not able to decide. So he submits himself to Krishna. So Krishna is here telling him, your decision not to fight is coming out of your false ego, actually. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Ahankara vimudha atma. Ahankara means aham kara. I am the doer. Ahankar means I think very great about myself because I think I can do. I am great. I know. What do you know? Ahamkar. Ahamkar comes from ahamkara. I am the doer syndrome inside. So when a person thinks that he is the doer and there is nobody else needed, there is no necessity for God, for anything, it's all because of me, I take full credit for it, then factually he is wrong. Factually, as per Bhagavad Gita, he is wrong because nothing you can do if the Lord, as Paramatma, does not sanction it. All your endeavors will be useless. You will never be able to achieve the result. But somehow, because the Lord knows you are a little foolish, a little stubborn kid, and he's having that feeling that you're my child and you're sometimes like this, it's okay. And because of his mercy, he grants it and it happens and they get the feeling, see, I did it. But even the credit that you get out of doing something successfully and the thrill of doing it, all that is actually given to you by the Lord's arrangement, even though you are not the person who's actually achieving it. Many times we see people need that feeling, that credit, that recognition, that appreciation to make them keep going in this world, although they may know it is not true also. Sometimes people have to that extent wanted that they know that they have not done it and somebody else has done it. They won't even steal the credit. And if they are known and if we know that we have stolen the credit and still we say, okay, nice, you've done it, great, they feel great about it. On stolen credit also they feel great. So much is the desire to get recognition, appreciation for something that you do. Karma phala, we are so much attached to the result that we don't mind that we have not done it, still we get the credit, we are happy. We are happy. So sometimes people give credit to kids. Although they have not done it, it's, oh, wonderful, so nice, you did that, amazing you are. And the kid really smiles and so happy. The soul is by nature addicted to getting credit for things that the soul does, right? So this is a very amazing aspect of material life, that persons in this world, they seek that type of appreciation, credit. Krishna is saying, actually, on your own, you can never do. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srajati prabhu na karma phalasvam samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Whatever you are apparently doing also, you're doing under the pushing of the three modes of material nature. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. You may have a desire to take the credit, but the doing also you're able to do because you're influenced by material nature and you're doing. Because on your own, you'll never be able to do without the pushings of material nature. You have no capacity to do it. Krishna's energy, inferior energy. You see, Krishna is explaining superior energy, apareya mitastuvanyam prakritim vidyame param. The higher energy, higher prakriti is the soul, but the inferior energy, prakriti, is matter, material nature. The soul is situated inside material nature, and he exploits matter and material nature. And in order to do that activity also, he needs energy of matter, energy of material nature to be influencing him, and only then he does. So Krishna is saying, na kartrutvam na karmani. You are not the doer. Lokasya srajati prabhu. The Lord, Master inside this body, the soul thinks he's the doer, but actually he's not. Na karma phala samyogam. He is also not the person duly supposed to be enjoying the result of that activity. It is he simply acting helplessly out of the pushings of material nature. Swabhavastu pravartate. Swabhava, your character, your nature, based on your horoscope, your karma, and how the modes are acting on you. Helplessly you act according to that. So this is a science of work. This is the science of how things happen. But we can be completely blind to it. We may not even know how the mechanics or how things are happening in this world, but that doesn't matter. But that doesn't really matter. Things happen the way it is set up. There is a very good arrangement and it is foolproof. It's perfect and it is complete and holistic. There's no fault in it. And inside that, unbeknownst to you, you're situated. But you take credit for the whole machinery facilitating many things for you. But that's okay. That's the way a conditioned soul is. When I say conditioned soul, it means he is conditioned by the modes to act, will, think, behave in a certain way. So it's predictable how you will act, what you will do, because the software works on you, the program works on you, and you're predictable. If I say these things nowadays, people will say, no, we have free will. Yes, you have free will, but you're not in a position to exercise it because you don't even know yourself as different from your body, your mind, your intelligence. When we actually get to know ourselves, then we can actually navigate our way to be able to exercise our free will. Nobody says no. So, work is a science. How things happen, how you work, and how you get the results. Right? So Krishna is explaining Prakriti Kriyamanani. It is Prakriti that is doing. Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha, through the gunas. But the puffed up, false egoed Atma, Ahankara Vimuda Atma, super fool. Mudha means fool, Vimuda means super foolish Atma. Kartaham iti manyate, he thinks I am the doer. See, this is a very profound statement because we all get our identity validated on the basis of what we do in this world. I am an entrepreneur. I am an industrialist. I am a speaker, orator, a motivational speaker. I am a businessman. I am a housewife. I am a mother. All these things are false ego caps that we wear. And it's very important for us that we're playing that role and we are validated by those roles, right? And our identity is very much based on those titles, and from that titles flow the things that we do. So we identify ourselves very much with our titles and the jobs that we do flowing from that titles. That's what we are. And that's how we are recognized in this world. That is a sad truth. But the fact is that you are not your title. You are not identified by the jobs you do flowing from that job description and that title. You are completely different from that. You are a spirit soul. You have a separate identity, completely different from this. That is the mechanical, robotic portion of yourself, which goes on. But you, as a personality, are distinctly different. You don't need to be in that position. You don't need to be moved and pushed by Prakriti. You can actually be independently situated if you have a little bit of spiritual realization. That's a statement here, right? So normally we don't like to hear this. If you hear that, oh, I really don't have any role to play. I'm just a dumb machine. Somebody works on me and I work. But that's the way we have been taught. That's the way we have been educated. That's the paradigm that has been thrown on top of us. And that's what life is about for everybody, right? But the truth is, ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate, you can get out of that. You see, you can get out of that. Thinking that I am the doer can be, stopped with a little knowledge. That's why Krishna is explaining in Bhagavad Gita how this world works. Who are the people making it work? What are the energies in operation? What are the technicalities involved? And how you are situated inside there. What's your role? What's your role? All this we can understand very nicely from Bhagavad Gita. And the person who has created it, the person who is running it, is speaking, the real creator. So we can get a lot of information from Bhagavad Gita on this basis. So when we get to actually examining our work, we will see that we should not, the way to get out of this is, don't become too much identified with your work and don't get your identity out of the work that you do or the title that you have based on your work. Try to see yourself like Bhagavad Gita tells us, you are spirit soul, not this body. This body is worked upon by the three modes, and the body, mind, intelligence function according to the three modes. You really, in your conditioned state, do not have much of a say on it. You really don't have much of a say on it. But if you wake up spiritually as a spirit soul, then you have a good chance of seeking right that this is my body, I run it the way I should. And once you're woken up spiritually, you will not be doing this regular work for sense gratification. There is a better way of using this body, mind, and intelligence for a higher purpose, which is more thrilling, more beneficial, and ultimately the goal of life. So when you wake up spiritually, you start hitching up. Take the reins. Enough of this. I did all this wandering enough. Now I want to focus, hitch up properly, and be able to reach the real goal of life. I had enough of moving around here and there. I have this vehicle, yantra rudhani mayaya. I have this car, this body, and it has been given to me. It's very precious possession. And obviously it's a mobile vehicle and it is meant to take you from one place to the other, right? Just like if you have a car, it's not that you keep on looking at the car and take photographs with it and not do anything about it. And you should inquire, what is this car? What does it do? How I could use it and start using it. What's it meant for? Right? It's not that, imagine you got a new car, somebody gifted you a car or whatever, and then you say, so nice, and lick it up and, hug it and polish it and brush it and sit inside and take pictures and come out. You will definitely drive it. You'll actually, let's go to this place, let's do that, let's put the car to use. In the same way, this body is not a thing for you to shoot selfies alone. It's not a thing for you to deck it up nicely and look in the mirror alone. That's not the purpose. The purpose is you should utilize it. Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayah Diviva chakshur atatam tat vipraso vipinyavo chagruvagum sasamindate Vishnur yat paramam padam. The destination, it says, is to go param padam, the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Here is your vehicle, right? Set the controls right and move towards that. This is the goal of life. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Prahalad is telling his schoolmates, people don't know that their destination goal is to go back to Godhead. Why are they getting stuck up with different types of work and different types of results and trying to enjoy those results and then creating more karma and then actually getting entangled further and going round and round and round? They should utilize the vehicle properly for scoring the amazing goal. And that is the purpose of life. How to utilize this vehicle. So then your idea about work will completely change. Anything that does not give me my destination, anything that does not give me my goal, why should I do it? Why should I do it? I'll keep it to a minimum. I'll keep it to a minimum. And I will develop that type of an attention towards what I'm supposed to do. Now, you are doing karma yoga. From karma to karma yoga. Karma yoga means to link up, to hook up. So my activity with this body and senses, mind and intelligence, I will do it so that it gives me credit, it gives me spiritual credit, and I can move ahead towards the real destination of life. What is that type of work? That type of work is called devotional service. Doing service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, your eternal position. You start doing that now even in your conditioned state itself. When you start doing that even now, it brings out purification of this egoistic idea you have. When that purification comes through, gradually you come to understand who are you. The more you understand who are you, and the more you actually purify yourself, the more your spiritual identity becomes clear. In this way, gradually, a person moves up and comes to a position of realization, right? So this is what Krishna is telling here. Don't get stuck up. Don't be an ahankara vimuda atma. The tendency to ask for credit, the tendency to ask for recognition is very, very deeply entrenched. We get validated by the people around us. We want people around us. Hello? We want people around us to actually credit us with appreciation. Otherwise, we have no enthusiasm to do these things. Definitely. I'm not saying that we should drop everything down. We'll have right now no enthusiasm. We should take it step by step. Right now, without making any other change, we should simply include that type of activity which will actually give us spiritual credit. Krishna will personally give you that spiritual credit, right? So doing devotional service to the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Worshipping the Lord's Archa Vigraha, offering your food and bhoga, garlands, flowers, everything as a service to the Lord during the Arati, and remaining in consciousness of the Lord, reading Bhagavad Gita and meditating on these instructions, speaking to other persons who are doing this and having their association, performing some devotional service to the Lord. I distribute the Bhagavad Gita to others. I actually tell somebody else to chant Krishna's name and explain these things to others. In this way, as we get into practical devotional service, karma yoga, utilizing our body and everything and offering the fruits of our effort to Krishna, right? Gradually, you become purified of that understanding that I am the doer. And you understand that actually Material nature is the doer. And the person behind material nature is Krishna. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Under my superintendence, this material energy is working. I am directing it. So Krishna is actually the person through material nature and through the various agencies making things happen. We recognize that. The moment you start recognizing that, you've already made a very big progress. That's why Bhagavad Gita is important, because Bhagavad Gita tells how things work in this world. What exactly is happening, right? So, various instances in the lives of many devotees illustrate this. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada's life history is one amazing example. Very amazing example. His spiritual master asked him that he should go to foreign lands, to the English-speaking countries, the Western world, and present this information and knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. So for many, many years, he was wondering, how will I be able to do it? I'm least qualified. I've never been out of India. I don't know that type of culture. I'm brought up, he was just thinking and thinking and thinking and praying to Krishna. I've got this order from my spiritual master and I want to do it, but I can't imagine myself ever doing it. It's North and South Pole apart, me and that type of a thing. But finally, he decided I must try at least to do it. At least I must try to do it. So he made an attempt when he was 70 years old. 69, 70 years old, he started working on it. And he was visiting this lady who was the proprietor of a big shipping company, the Scindia Steam Shipping Corporation, in those days in 1965. And he waited a long time to see her, and she told him, you don't go at this age in the ship, you will die. I don't think you should go at this age. Why you want to go at this age? You should have gone much earlier. At least when you're 50 years old, you should have gone. It's not too late, of course. But then this is really late. And she was very worried something will happen. He said, no, don't worry. Krishna will protect you. You are a devotee and I am also a devotee. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Please give me a facility. I don't have the money, otherwise I'd have given you the money. I was a businessman before, now I'm a sannyasi. So somehow he convinced her. And she gave him a free cargo passage in a cargo ship called the Jaladuta. And he sailed for more than 40 days in that. He had 2 heart attacks, 2 massive heart attacks in the ship. But he said, I'm completely surrendered to Krishna. I've given myself to Krishna. Whatever you want, you may do with me, Krishna. You may use me as your puppet to speak this message to people in America. I'm making this very bold journey. Anything can happen to me. If I pass away from my body, then I have at least tried to execute what my Guru told me. At least that satisfaction will be there. So in this way, completely dependent on the Lord as the doer. And when he arrived near Boston, he wrote on his diary, my Lord, this place is full of Rajogun, Tamogun. People are so passionate. I do not know why you have brought me here. I and these people are poles apart. I don't know how I will be able to do, but you must be having a plan. You must be having a plan. You make my words effective to them. You are situated in their heart as Paramatma. If you want, you can convince them. I am a nobody. This is how, in a very humble mode, you are the doer, I am your instrument. You are the doer, I am your instrument. Nimittamatram bhavasabhya sachim. Krishna told Arjuna, you don't worry about all these things, just become my instrument. I'll get everything done for you. In this way, Prabhupada became an instrument. We don't have to do to that level and extent immediately. We can go step by step. He became an instrument, and through him, Krishna carried this message of the Bhagavad Gita to so many people all over the world. So many people all over the world. And Prabhupada throughout was recognizing that and said, I'm just an instrument. Krishna is utilizing me. I'm a willing instrument. So he told his followers, you too please carry out what I say, because I alone cannot do this. All of you are needed. And if all of us engage in this service to the Lord, He will be so pleased. And when He is so pleased, He'll confer His mercy on you. And if His mercy comes on you, everything will work wonderfully for you. You'll be a happy soul. So we are asking everybody the option to be an instrument of the Lord in the following of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is still available. It will constantly be available. We need to hook up. I will do a little bit something because that is my constitutional duty. As a spirit soul, as a servant eternally of Krishna, I must do some seva for Krishna. Let me do something. And let me chant Hare Krishna as per God's order. Let me read Bhagavad Gita. Let me do something. Let me distribute Bhagavad Gita to somebody. Let me speak this, what I have heard today, to somebody. I am not a free person, you can tell them. We are not free to do what we are doing. We are doing under the modes, but actually we can become free. It's our impression and our notion, our perception that we are free to do what we want. But although it looks like freedom and we are able to do certain things, it is happening only by the sanction of a higher force. We are not really free. On our own, many things will be withdrawn and we can do almost nothing. This realization can come to us. Therefore, we are humbled. Therefore, we worship the Supreme Lord and remain His instrument. And whatever happens to us, we consider this to be the mercy of the Lord. So this is the mood of a devotee. This is the mood of a bhakti yogi. Is fully dependent on the Lord for anything to happen and things to take place. So how we can translate that into our life? You don't have to make some very fantastic changes immediately like Prabhupada. You don't have to take a cargo ship and fly and take off somewhere or go. We have to observe all necessary precautions. This is COVID times. We are at home. We have more time. We will, for today and for tomorrow and other days, I will recognize the Lord as a significant player in the activities in my life. Let me purposely, deliberately do that. Let me understand how it works. Let me go in front of the Lord and offer prayers. Let me chant Krishna's name deeply. Let me read the Bhagavad Gita and consider these things deeply. Let me offer myself in prayer to the Lord. Take a picture of the Lord or anything, chant in front of the Lord and offer your prayers. Get connected with the Lord. We can start with simple steps like that. Krishna's name we can chant, we can read Bhagavad Gita, and many, many things will happen gradually over a period of time. The whole Bhagavad and the Puranas are replete with these type of instances. How people started as nothing, how they got directed. We were yesterday and today morning recollecting in our Bhagavatam discourse about Narada Muni's previous lives. How Narada Muni was a Gandharva in the higher planets. Very handsome looking and a wonderful singer. His name was Upabharna. Upabharna actually made a mistake. He was singing the glories of some demigods, everything, when the Lord was appearing, and he was cursed to get a low birth. He became a servant-maid son. As a servant-maid son, he was completely in poverty. He really didn't have any opportunities, any talent, nothing. He was just able to go to some little Gurukula and sit down there and come back. His mother, single mother, she was a servant maid and she was getting a little something and bringing for her son, whom she loved very much. The only person she knew as a son. And some wonderful personalities in the forest, great sages, once passed by and they said, can we use your little shelter here to talk a little bit? And she said, okay, please. And they sat down there and spoke about Krishna and spoke about his pastimes. This boy was sitting and listening. Wow, I never heard these things before. Wonderful stories about Krishna, about the Lord. And so he heard very eagerly for all the days that they were there and holding this charcha, which conversation he heard. And they were eating fruits and berries and all that were given to them. And one day he asked, can I also partake a little bit after you eat of your remnants? I heard that if you eat the remnants of food of great sages, I will also develop. He said, yes, 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 go ahead, small boy, go ahead. And so he was every day eating their remnants, prasadam, maha prasadam, because it was remnants of great personalities. They gave him instructions how to think about the Lord and meditate and everything, little bit here and there. So he was very grateful. After some time, they disappeared. Then his mother was one day bitten by a snake in the forest and she died. And he was alone, sitting near his mother, very small boy. And he didn't know what to do. But the only thing he remembered is what the sages came and discussed in his house. And he said, I'll go. He went in search of some temples on a Tirtha Yatra. And then he saw these type of temples. And then one day he learned he has to do some meditation and all that. He went and sat down under a tree, took a bath in the holy river of Ganges or somewhere. And he was started meditating on the Lord as per those instructions. And the Lord spoke to him. My dear boy, you have not yet purified yourself fully to be able to see me. You're not qualified yet, but you're doing the right thing. Continue to do this, and very soon you'll be successful. So he became very inspired by hearing that. He's an innocent person, and he got pushed and guided. Gradually, the more and more he started associating with such persons, learned more, read the scripture, traveled from one place to the other, and was completely fixed in doing only this. And when he died, Krishna took care of him. In his next life, he became the famous sage Narada Muni, very closely associated with the Lord. He can play his veena and enter Vaikuntha, free pass for him. Everywhere in the spiritual world, in the material world, in the lower worlds, in the demons' world also, they trust him. He's got freedom to go anywhere. He's the world's greatest transcendental spaceman. He goes everywhere. But his lifetimes was like this, gradually guided by Krishna, because he was sincere. He just was simple, right? So this can happen to us also. Same principles are involved. Same Krishna is involved. He's your father and your loving guardian. So if we just listen to him and take this very seriously, chant Krishna's names, then you'll get freedom from the clutches of material nature. And you'll be able to freely perform devotional service to the Lord in love of God, in Bhakti. And that is an amazing experience described. Ananda, bliss, right? So this is possible even now, today. Same principles hold forth. And we have devotees all over the world, from all corners, doing these amazing things, getting reciprocation from Krishna, and feeling so happy, feeling so thankful with great gratitude to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for bringing this message to me, to somebody who's somewhere in Africa, in some corner of Africa, and I get to know about this, I practice it and experience it. So it's meant for everybody and anybody. It works for anybody and everybody. You too can do that in your house, in your setup, because everyone has a permanent, eternal relationship with God, with Krishna, and you can revive it. And that's the greatest thrill, as the greatest occupation in this material world as a human being. A human being is an advanced species. He's the highest of the species. He has intelligence. He can analyze things. He can understand these things. Use your intelligence to understand Bhagavad Gita and perform this devotional service. You get free from the modes of material nature. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma phale spriha, itimam yobi janadi karmabhir nasapadyate. You become free from the effects of karma if you get to know Krishna, if you get to know your relationship with the Lord. And this is an exciting journey of the self. Only you are involved and only Krishna is involved. Nobody else is interfering in between. Just your guru, whom you accept, is giving you instructions and thickening that relationship between you and Krishna. It's an exclusive relationship. It's a private, confidential relationship. It's an enthralling relationship. That's why Krishna is inviting you to fall into that relationship. Manmana bhava, mad bhaktaha, madhyaji mam namaskuru in the 18th chapter is telling, become my devotee, offer your obeisances to me, worship me, and I will start reciprocating with you. So this is doable, achievable, because it has been spoken about by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And that should be the type of work you should start adding into your life. Shankaracharya said, he described the Bhagavad Gita, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gita. There needs to be only one scripture, Devaki Putra's Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. We need to worship only one God, that Devaki's Putra, Krishna. Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani. There is only one mantra we need to chant, his holy names. Karma pi ekam tasya devasya seva. There is only one action, one activity we need to do. Only one work we need to do is to serve him. So this is topmost work when you start serving Krishna. So you don't have to immediately convert everything. Little by little, 1%, 2% of my 24 hours, 3% of my 24 hours every day, I spend for knowing more about myself, for devotional service. Slowly increase it, 3%, 4%, 5%. As you get more and more taste, you will see you'll be drawn into it. Because it's your eternal relationship with your eternal Father. He's waiting for you with both his hands open, full of love. Why wouldn't you go into it? Think about it very seriously and perform that type of work. Yajnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. For the sake of Vishnu, yajno vai Vishnu, one must do something. One must not always selfishly do for only his gains. One must do for Vishnu. And if he finds it difficult to do it for Vishnu, at least he must start doing for others and gradually elevate himself for doing it for the Supreme Lord. So start doing it today. I know you, all of you, many of you are already doing. You can up it. Today is a very auspicious day. Today is Ekadashi in the Purushottama Adhika Masa. A supercharged Ekadashi. Today is a good day for you to take a vow, a commitment, and keep it up. Krishna will support you in keeping up your commitment, right? So pray to Krishna and take a commitment. If you're already chanting 1 round, say, I chant 2 rounds, I chant 4 rounds. If you're already reading 1 sloka of Bhagavad Gita, tell yourself, I'm going to finish this chapter completely in this month. More than regular, I'm going to read. And give yourself a little push, 1 notch above. And Krishna will bless you in this month. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Any questions you have? Anjana. Maharaj, the criminals who are doing various destructive activities all over the world actually are not the doers. But because they desired, so Krishna sanctions it even though Krishna is not pleased with them. Yes, true. This is going to be shocking to you. Everything is happening as per the mechanism that is set up. Basically, in this mechanism, you cannot do on your own anything. But if you so desire, if it is within your karma, within your scope, then you will be given all the necessary facilities to do it. It doesn't matter. The system is not going to bother whether you're doing a criminal activity or not. It's a machinery operation. But once you do that and you have that intention, the result you will suffer or enjoy. If you've done a good activity, a pious activity with using the system and the desire you have, you get a good result. But if you do an impious activity, a criminal activity, and if it is sanctioned, then you will get the result of that too. Mechanism works neutrally. What do you desire? You may sometimes put to practice, and you'll have to suffer the results accordingly. Yes, true. Because tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Without the sanction of the Lord and his representatives and the whole machinery, not even one blade of grass moves this way, that way. This is the statement from the Vedas, right? We may not be able to understand that, How is the mechanism and the machinery? But that is a statement, and that's how it works. Krishna need not be standing here every day and supervising like we do. We don't have to do all. He doesn't have to do all that. He's extremely powerful. His energies work. His representatives work. There are 80, crores of millions of people working, and they, boom, it happens. It happens. It's a whole machinery. Your intention is the most important. Your desire is the most important. So sometimes you may do something good for people. You desire to do it. And if it's got a sanction, it may happen. Like we were desiring during the COVID times, we want to really give prasadam food to so many people. But we were stopped by the government. We said, no, 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 you can't do this, you can't do this. And we were just thinking that so many people are hungry. This is a good time to give prasadam, and they'll gobble up whatever we give them, and they will get spiritual benefit. So many other supporters also came. Yes, I want to donate 10 sacks of rice for you. I want to give you atta. I want to give you vegetables. Oh, we saw so many people want to do it. So we went ahead and did it. And we went and asked the government permission. You must do this. We used some influence. It happened. It happened. Some people were saying, no, no, it's very difficult. Don't do it. It's difficult to get, permission. And moreover, it's very dangerous to go like this. You may catch COVID. But some of our devotees said, no, no, I like to do this. Krishna, please grant us the opportunity to distribute prasadam. They're suffering. And we know it's Krishna's, our Lord Jagannath's sanction. And so the devotees went, got a kitchen ready, and every day they were cooking, and we were going out in vans and distributing food to all sorts of people. Stuck up here, there, between the streets, nice men. I came all the way from, so-and-so place in North India. I'm stuck here. I don't have a place to stay. Actually, I have a nice job there. I'm like this. I'm well-to-do. I don't even have money. I don't have food to eat. All sorts of people took advantage. So good things also get sanctioned. Similarly, if you have a bad, a criminal thing, you may get it done, but the result of that you will face. Okay? I hope, Anjana, that is clear. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Have a great day. May Krishna's blessings be on you, on all of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
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 Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Pranams, Maharaj, please.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Ram, 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 Ram.